Hi guys, Mr. Jaeger here. Hot off the presses, Crusader Day is here in the IAE Expo, and voila! Kind of, this is my second time doing this because the first time, none of these ships were here. So, yeah, it's a win. We've got some good stuff. So this one's probably going to be the shortest out of all of them because, well, we're going to be seeing... Sorry. Sorry, I've just looked at the map for the first time. So, today we are going to be having a good old crack through the Crusader Industries Day. Now, this is potentially, finger quote, this has potential to be the most disappointing, or alongside lacking in content with the Argo and the Consolidated Outland, because the Crusader Industries, whilst just providing a large amount of sort of hypothetical ships and other haven't really made a lot of contributions into the verse. The Mercury Star Runner now being the most sought after aircraft in the spacecraft in the Star Citizen IP at the moment. We will be having a bit of an in-depth look in these particular ships, but what we'll do first is we'll go through the two little tiny ships to the left and the right, and then we'll go downstairs into the holodecks, we'll come back up, and then we'll have a full-on integrated look. So, without further ado, is that the P-72? That looks like the P-72. Yes. So to start off with, let's look at the snub fighters. Now, these are the little parasite fighters that, if you have a constellation, are the fighters that are come with the ship. Because we don't have docking at the moment, we don't really have the means. Hang on, let me just try and clear out my... There we go, slightly more frames, he says. So, these are the little ships that come with your constellations. Now, depending on what version of the constellation you have, will also depend on what version you get of the these little snub fighters. This one is the P-52 Merlin. Personally, my favorite because it has, well, it only has two size 1 laser repeaters. There is a size 3, I believe, Gatling gun in the center there, which is very well designed. If I jump, you can hopefully see. Actually, I'll just go into my larger view. You can hopefully see, I'll just zoom out with this. I don't know why I haven't thought of doing this sooner, but here we go. Let's zoom out a bit. And then move up a bit. Right, so as you can see, there is a very lovely looking Gatling gun. Very well designed and sort of slipped into the... the design of the ship, which I really like. Like, I have no reason for having this, so there's no reason to getting this particular ship yet, because these ships do, as being a parasitic ship entail, it means that you can't, they don't have any quantum travel abilities. They are literally, you have to have another ship in order for them to be useful, because then you put them on the ship and then they fly around. So when space docking becomes a thing, these ships will finally have a very valid use to be made, and I quite like them. So that's the P-52 Merlin. Then, of course, you have the P-72. Now, this one, I would say, is a slightly inferior option, because while it does get 2 more size 1 laser repeaters, it loses its size 3 Gatling gun. It is slightly snazzier. The cockpit's a little bit more upright, and it has a few more sort of whizzier features. But, like, in terms of actual practicality, I would say that the P-72 is, in my opinion, a bit of a downgrade. You're just trading, you're trading DACA for looks, and yeah, no, that's not enough for me. So, again, a good fighter, very good aircraft. I look forward to seeing this thing do some pretty dope stuff. But in terms of actual use in the field, not really anything at the moment. But one can hope that when this does go into effect, we will be able to see, well, once docking becomes a thing, we will see a lot more of these vessels in the verse defending their constellation ships. So, as we make our way down towards the holodecks, we are greeted by Tumbrils. That's right, the Tumbril Cyclone RC, the RN, and the Bog Standard. Now, what does this mean? Well, the Tumbril Cyclone, as I tend to go, is basically an all-terrain Jeep. It's a Jeep. pretty much, or a Hummer, depending on what your kind of thing. It feels like a Hummer, to be honest with you. But this is an all-terrain ground transportation vehicle. I've had a drive in this way back when, a couple years ago, when I got back into Star Citizen. Basically, not a lot of difference. I think the RC is probably the one you want to have, because this one has a booster jet system engaged, and it recently was re-implemented into the game. It was broken for a very long time, but now CIG have in fact fixed it, which is pretty cool. I'm liking the sound of this, and I'm hoping to see these little things do more. I don't have a use for them, but I like them a lot. Tumbril have some... I love the design. The design of the Cyclone looks absolutely fantastic. There is another version of this, which I'm going to hop over to the other side to see if they have that available. 1 second. Yay, coughing. So, yes, here it is. So, these are the more militaristic versions of the Cyclone. We'll go with the less snazzy version. This is the Tumbril Cyclone AA, which, as it says on the tin, has a bunch of anti-aircraft missiles in tow. Not too bad. It's a pretty impressive array. Pretty impressive sized missile, but there's only 2 of them. So once you fire it, that's pretty much it. You're done. So, and if you want to get an anti-air ground vehicle, ballista. So there's no real reason to having this, except if you're in a position where a ballista is not really good, but that's very, 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 very special circumstance. So I feel sorry for this car, because it's probably the only time it's going to ever be seen in-game is when players look at it through the IAE Expo events. I'm so sorry. But this one, however, in contrast, is actually going to be used probably by a fair amount of people. This is the Tumbril Cyclone TR, which is a ground... Well, it's basically what we call the Warthog of... what I call the Warthog of Star Citizen. Pretty much standard Master Chief affair. Driver on the left, passenger on the right, and a turret at the rear. Now, apparently this vehicle does have a shielding system of sort, but it does not apply to the gunner. Now, the gunner has a limited arc, unfortunately. It's about 20 to 30 degrees, if memory serves correctly. I haven't really used this in yonks, but if memory serves correctly, this vehicle's turret does not give 360. And I don't think it even gives 90 degrees of air traverse. So it's a limited in form, but if you want to go to an area to suppress a sort of a decent area in front of you, that's definitely good. Or if you wanted to watch a choke, then this is a pretty good weapon to block a choke with. And it's light, it's fast, and it does the job. I'm hoping to see more vehicles of its kind from Tumbril, but again, I don't have a use for it. These vehicles often require more than one player, and unless there's a real reason for it, there's not much to go around which requires more than one player. So it's kind of, in my experience, I've not needed to have one, so I've saved my pennies in that regard. But as we go on into the Expo and the area that then potentially, I'm going to prepare myself for this. For context, Tumbril Cyclone, however, is working on a motorbike. It is known as the Ranger. Now, despite the other vehicles, despite the Tumbril Cyclones and all the other stuff, those ones are good, and I really like them, whatever. I am dying to see the Ranger. All I have seen so far, up to this point, is concept art images and discussions and what have you. So, if I see this model, I am going to squeak. You have been warned. Here we go. Oh, you fucking beauty. Oh my god, I want you. Oh, model texturing doesn't look quite nice. I'm not a huge fan of the white. But oh no, it looks a little early development. I think this is definitely early modeling. Yeah, this is definitely early modeling. You can tell by the lack of textures. But look, it's got 2 tarantulas on the side. Oh my god, it looks so good. It looks so good. So good. Oh my god, that looks so fantastic. Oh my god. Oh. I kind of want to buy one. Yes, I will. If it's possible for me to buy one, I will buy one straight up. It looks so gorgeous. Like, there are bikes available in this game. Drake Interplanetary has the Dragonfly, the Asperia has the Nox, but they're both hover bikes. This is a dedicated ground transport vehicle, and it doesn't require any fancy things. It literally gets you from A to B, and oh my god, it looks fucking amazing. But yes, to go to the little blip to talk about it, the Tumbril Ranger TR. This is the more militaristic version. There are racer variants out there, and there's one that even takes light cargoing. So basically, like, probably up to, what, a couple of SCUs worth of cargo on the side. But oh my god, I really want this bike. I want this bike. It looks so fucking amazing. I want it so badly. It's like the fucking F8. But slightly more because it's ground transport. It just looks so good. Anyway, moving on. And of course, need I mention anything else? This is, of course, the Tumbril Rhino tank. Is it Rhino? No, Nova. Why was I thinking Rhino? I was thinking 40k. This is the Tumbril Nova. This is the dedicated battle tank of and the first of its kind to be witnessed in Star Citizen. So the general low-down statistics is that this thing basically has the ability to transport some troops, has the ability to transport, it has the ability to provide a nice little destructo, and, well, put it this way, if this is on the ground blowing shit up, then odds are you're gonna see the enemy is not gonna last long. When we can have, like, destructible physics, in a sense, like, if we can blow up stations, or you can assault player-held strongholds with this little thing, not much going to stand against it, unless the enemy has air supremacy. In which case, we have a Burt for that. So anyway, going on to Crusader Industries, we have... Hello! So, some of you may have asked the question, how are we supposed to get that onto the ground? I don't think if it's as big as they say it is, how are we going to get it onto the ground? Well, thank you very much for asking, random person who somehow is in my room. This is the reason why that tank will be on the ground. This is, of course, the Crusader Hercules. And, oh, baby. It looks so good. So, my very good friend Nimbus, which... showed me the Mercury Star Runner up close, which is what kind of we're going to be doing in our own way. He showed me the Mercury Star Runner, and I'm not going to lie, I was worried, because I knew that if I was worried that if I ever saw anything like Crusader Industries, because I was very on the fence. I was very on the fence. We've not seen any kind of real presence of Crusader Industries. With the exception of the snub fighters, but nobody would go with the snub fighters. So the Mercury Star Runner is in fact the first ship of its kind done by Crusader in the Crusader likeness. So when I saw that, I fell in love with the Mercury Star Runner, and this ship is beginning to get onto my I want you list. And oh, so good. Oh, and so now I'm falling for this type of shipping. It looks so good because it's like blending style, and it's not it's not like up your own arse style like Origin. It's like, I'm cool, I know it, but I'm not gonna fucking shove it in your face and pretend I'm somehow better than you. Yeah, so that's why. So Crusader Industries is beginning to get a fan out of me, and to be honest with you, look at that image. That's oh, so good. So, going on to the last thing in this room, we have... I think I know what you are. I think I know what you are. This is the thing that I'm going to be buying, and I'm going to be rebuying, because I bought it and then I upgraded to the Mercury. But yeah, this is going to be... Not Mercury, Redeemer. This is... You look even more sexy in model form. You are the Ares Inferno, with a size 7 Gatling gun firing at 1,200 rounds a minute? 2,700 rounds a minute? Might be 3,000, but I can assure you it's fast. Designed very similarly it's designed with a similar intent, kind of like the MSR. This particular ship has a brother, or a sister ship, known as the Ares Ion, which has the ability, which takes out the the Gatling gun, and instead replaces it with a size 7 laser weapon, which is designed more for probably fucking with the shields. So the concept is that you would have the Ion for knocking out capital ship shields, and the Inferno for destroying the capital ships, or in this case, in other cases, being the Burt that everyone so desperately wants. I think that's 2,700 rounds per minute, is the thought. But anyway, this is a ship which is basically everyone's wanting, because it's the Burt. It's Star Citizen's Burt. And I am oozing with excitement because I love the Burt. The A-10 in real life is the god of all planes. It's a sexy beast. It can destroy anything, and it has such a great calling card sound. So if this thing is even a tenth of what the A-10 Warthog is, oh, I'm gonna melt in my seat. I swear to God, it's gonna be like a fucking porno film. Oh, it's so good. Oh boy. So, yeah, it's gonna be good times. Crusader Industries, if you can keep up the pace with what the Emissar has just dropped, you're on a roll. You'll be on a fucking good roll. So, I decided to, for this last segment, talk a bit about the MSR outside of the venue. Reason why was because there was a lot of functionality and things that weren't quite working, because I think the area around the MSR was fairly buggy, and inside there were so many people, I was a bit like, I'm not really going to be able to get a good run with this. So we've got one rented, or not actually, no, I don't think it's one's the rented one. I think it's just one that I get for the subscriber thing. So everyone who's a subscriber can access this thing ship whilst we are waiting. So that's a pretty handy thing. So let us have a look in the internals of the MSR. This is, of course, a fantastic looking ship. Loving this. I mean, this is, of course, yeah, before we even start, this is the Millennium Falcon. Like, if you had to say a Millennium Falcon of Star Citizen, this would be it. So as you can see, you've got a turret, gimbaled size 3s on the front, some size 2s and 3s missiles. This turret, for some reason, and the ramp, if you go to a certain points, go really dark for some weird reason, but that, I think, is just a texture glitch. But they're nothing on the terms of problem. So you go to, the only way to get into the ship is from the rear. This has a very nice cargo bay. You can get 2 ROCs, or I'm thinking 4. I think Lore of the West said he apparently could get like 4, but I only been able to get 2. Personally, I'd only risk 2 because I don't trust the ROCs. Anyway, so you can actually open and close these doors with this really awesome new UI systems, which is fantastic. And more on these a little bit later. So another useful thing is that you can actually turn the lights on and off in the room. Boink. And you can have the mood lighting or the normal lighting, which is very nice. Going to enter into engineering. We've got a bunch of new features in. And you have access to all of the different all the different panels and other stuff. Apologies for the jittering of the camera. This is unfortunately on Star Citizen's end. I don't know what it is, but it's very irksome, and I kind of wish I could get rid of it. But unfortunately, we're going to have to live with it, which sucks. It's irritating for me as much as it is for you, unfortunately. So there's the quantum drive. Open up the quantum drive. There she be. And there is the shield generators as well. So they're all interconnected, but all accessible, which is very, very nice. So you go into doors. I love the doors, by the way. I don't know where. I feel like I've seen them from somewhere, but I can't remember where. But I love it regardless. And here is the elevator, which can take you up towards the server sector. Though, I also like what you can do with this elevator. You can skip it. Pretty nice. I've done that fucking jump numerous times. Hang on, let me try that again. There we go. Just to prove a point. So you enter into this room, and it is all the little different servers and all of the things. Because don't forget, this ship's main role is a data runner. If you want to, and I'm imagining how it's going to work is you've got ships with locations on new potential base locations, hidden mining arrays, maybe some derelict ships. I reckon when the Star Citizen goes into full form and they release the Bengal derelict, these things are going to be used because they're going to be tracking all over the verse for a Bengal space carrier. And, oh, So going into the data mining or data sector, you will find a very large room dedicated to just one thing. And also, can I just say, these chairs, they're a little old, but they look so comfortable. They remind me of my chair, the one I'm currently on, which is an Arosa, gaming. It's a racing chair, but I actually quite like it because it feels really comfortable and it's just like you can rest your head back on. It's a very, very good chair. But anyway, so going on into the support seat. It's a bit of a long animation to get into it. There we go. So you go into it, and you have a whole bunch of opportunities. But what we're going to do first of all is we're going to put the power on. Now, unfortunately, there isn't a lot you can do right now. You can either choose between the radar and you can not do the radar. And they have that little call platform. We put the menu in. There's not a really a lot you can do, sadly. We'll put into comms. Shields. Maybe if I want to go with the shields, I can muck around with the shields. So there is an interactability to it, but not to the same degree, which is a bit of a shame. But there is actually something this ship, once this has more functionality, that you can do. If I hit this button, quickly jump out, you'll notice, he says, the radar dish is open. If you haven't, close it down. There you go. And open. There. So basically what I'm going to assume is the case is that, well, my best guess as to how this ship will work is you will select the different displays for the scanning stations or something along those lines. You flip it on and this thing will basically come up as a little like MFD display of data locations, a signal perhaps, something to try and find it. And so what you do is you change the displays, and there'll be like the different displays will represent the different sort of sectors, if you will. So you're trying to find something, and then if you find a certain frequency of a ship location or a density of materials or whatever, you can sort of ping the thing to the captain. You can all focus in on it just to try and find it and be like, right, let me see, I've got a sector of, for argument's sake, oh, we found a derelict javelin that's been abandoned by a clan that we blew up a few days ago. And it looks like the ship's just not being able to be repaired, so we need to go grab that. So I'll send a message and then download the data into the ship, into the servers, which can then potentially transfer the data across to other ships in the region, or can be secured and stay safely secured away for other things to come along. So perks there. So going over to the rear section here, these are the gunner chairs, the one going up and the one going down. Again, Star Wars, the Millennium Falcon. Going over to the bridge now, and you enter into the bridge to find 3 rooms. Now we'll go to the right one first, the habitation. And pushing on through, we have quite a decent array of beds. Very nice. I'm not going to lie, I love the aesthetics of Crusader internals. I love it. For some reason, it gives me an Aliens vibe as well. That could just be me, but it feels like we're on the Nostromo to a small extent, only slightly more advanced. Looking fantastic, though. Really good. You can turn the lighting off if you want to have a horror game. And voila. Beds looking very pleasant. Again, the ship looks like it's like a early, like mid-class sort of thing, which looks pretty nice. No medical beds, unfortunately, on this ship. But what you have got, though, is a toilet. Also, what? Oh, that's so cool! Sorry, I'm still getting used to this. So, oh. There we go. So, as you can see... Oh, I actually have a lock on it. So, as you can see, you can access the toilets and lock them. I was intending on showing you this a little bit later, but I did. I've already found this out myself. That's brilliant. Sorry, you can. This is the brig. No, this is the one of the features of the little handset things is that if, for example, you're going for a shower and you wanted to make sure no one would come in, you hit this button, and poof, you are now locked in, which means you can't open the door. There's no option for you to open the door, and you're like, oh no, I'm stuck. Or, oh good, I can have a shower. And so you have the shower, and then when you're finished, you hit the unlock button, and whooped, open the door, and you're fine. Now, the only downside of this is that, and you can do this, we're going to start again. You can do this, and you can do this for many other doors. For example, you can hit the button here, you can close the door, And if I hit that button again, boom. So now it's locked and staying locked. Now the only thing I'm not too sure about is that there is a this is a functional feature on the other side of the door. So it feels like it doesn't really work as intended yet. But maybe we might see something different fairly soon. We're not too sure. Or maybe it'll be that if you hit it there, eventually you won't be able to do it. But this is a really good, strong feature and against borders. Because if any of you have suffered borders, and I'm sure pretty much a lot of people have, you'll no doubt know there's the immense frustration of being in a ship that's fairly large, has a couple of secret nooks and crannies, and, you know, as you get out of the armistice zone, all of a sudden you hear a gunshot and your character's dead. Which is unfortunate, because obviously sneaking on board the ship, waiting until we get out of the zone, and then having that, it's just frustrating. And I'm, you know, I feel for you. I've seen it happen, and it's happened to me. So yeah, it's not fun. But that was a great way to counter it. So going into the recreation room, there is a working chess table. Look at that. Go into the thing, carry the point. You have a little place a little. Now, for some reason, I can't put this thing back, but we'll say I wanted to move him up a bit. So, poof. There you go. I've moved my black pawn. And then, which is barely keeping up. So, yeah, you can play chess in Star Citizen. The amount of in-depth is ridiculous. So, and again, looking very nice and contemptuous. Love the leather chair. This looks so comfortable. I could easily imagine... Oh, no. Come on. No, come on. There we go. Phew. Fuck you. The chair is so comfortable, it wants to on me. Yep, I feel the temptation. But no, this is the kind of chair that I know I could fall asleep on. Like, I'm not even going to question it. And there's a nice variety of books. Or compliers. Fish tank. What I learned in the fish tank. 1001 Hazy Thoughts. Star Engine Made Easy. Wow, that's... the psychological effects of prolonged exposure of multiple gravitational zones in human it's just for idiots. What's next? Always forward. Journal of Life Economics. Tips. What? Steps for Humanity. Clan Brutality. And the Lawmaker's Guide. Touché. Oh, that's fantastic. And yeah, expanding the universe, one story at a time. Oh, wow. That's a great Easter egg. Oh, that's a fantastic Easter egg. I love it. So, for anyone wondering what the hell I'm going on about, what's that one there? Stanton system, a brief synopsis of Anno Time. Ooh, that looks kind of cool. Anyway, so... The Lawmaker's Guide is actually a YouTube series that the Star Citizen Star Citizen has a YouTube channel, and from the 2000 like mid 2014, 2015 or whatever, for a number of years, the Star Citizen lore team got to make videos about different planets in the galaxy and would basically give you a history of the lore inside Star Citizen. And when I was watching these episodes during the Invictus week, I sort of got into reading them up or whatever. I watched and was fascinated by the amount of how in-depth some of these things were. It was beautiful, to say the least. I loved the amount of lore that you got here. And going further into the thing, I'm not entirely sure what that is. Looks like just a random strut or something like that. But still, or servers. Might be servers. Anyway, going into the bridge. A few weapons racks on the sides. And these very comfortable chairs. They have mastered comfortable chairs. So, let's go into the pilot seat. Again, apologies for the twitching. I don't know how I can stop it. If I knew how to stop it, believe you me, that would be my #1 priority. But still. And so this is the setup for the Star Runner, and the cockpit is very, very beautiful. You've got a brilliant I'd say like 180, yeah, 180 display, and the MFDs are kind of good. You've got one which is dedicated for comms, another thing for like the shields or whatever. There's a targeting array. You'll probably have to tweak this before you go into quantum. But yeah, like, it's not bad, but it's not great either. I quite like it. It's okay. It does what it needs to do, but it does require you to look around. If you have track IR, it's less of an issue, but obviously for those who don't have track IR, you'll have to manually look to the left or to do that if you want to keep up with your immersion sort of thing. But if you have track IR, then this is kind of going to be fine for you. But one thing I will mention, which is actually quite an awesome feature, is you may notice on the right side there's this dashboard, and you can see you can actually open and close the cargo bay from within the cockpit. So you have that extra level of immersion, which I really like. You can also have, your co-pilot can do it as well. So even they have some level of functionality, which I'm very much liking. Beautiful ship, absolutely beautiful ship. And I'm very much eager to. Did not mean to hit the power button for that. I'll go reactivate the power. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little edgy. If I see a ship with no power, or if I land a ship, I always keep the power on because shields. Yeah, weapons must have been lost while in armistice zone. Oh yeah, I should really mention about the display. The AI voice, shouldn't I? She's okay. I think if there's anything I would say that is a downgrade, is probably the AI voice, which isn't really a problem. She has occasional good words, but nothing to the same degree as what having the other stuff is. So yeah, does what it does what it says on the tin. Not really that impressive, but still pretty good. So that's pretty much it, really. So going back, I have to confess, there's a little bit of I've been a bit of a fibber. There's actually one extra thing which this ship has, which I'm certain will seal the deal, potentially, for all you evildoers and for all you Star Wars fans out there. So we'll go back into Recreation. You see this lovely little chest, desk of chess or whatever. Well, if I go get the White Queen, I don't know if it's the same for the other thing. I'm fairly certain. Let's try it with the other one. I just can't tell the difference in the models. Oh, God. Right, that's the Queen. So, King, Queen, so that one? Does it work? No, it doesn't work. Okay, so it is this one. So it is a better texture one. Just drop it on the ground. Get this one. And head over to here. What? Did I get the right one? No, the stupid character picked up the wrong one. GG. Right. Gonna make a mess first. Pick up the Queen, I said. Go over to here. Place her there. And voila. There is a secret passage. That's right. And you get inside. You crouch down. And you have another little sub-layer for all you sneaky fuckers out there. So you can crawl through the inner workings of this ship and access many different points. And there's a load of areas which are even are told to you as you go through them. So, for example, you come over to here and you're in the server room. You hit the button and here you are. You are in the server room. Hello. So, say the ship had been boarded and you need to get out. They're about to destroy the ship. And you're like, well, thank God I got away from those guys. So, make your way through. Nope, that's the server room. So, let's go through to here. Right, where am I going? I think I should go this way. No, that's the wrong way because I remember. And like over here. Right, where is this? Habitation? Nope, not for me. Oh, look! You're going into here. And you go to this door, which has been lovely and hidden. And ba-boom, you're in the cargo bay and out to freedom. Freedom! There you go. So therein lies the MSR, a fantastic ship, really awesome, and I am very excited to. I'm excited to see this ship because it has made a Crusader fanboy out of me. Like, this ship is fantastic. It looks really good. It handles very well, and the potential it can have on the potential effect on the verse is outstanding. It looks it looks so lovely. The design look so good. So here we are back at IAE, and yeah, god damn, this ship looks nice. Oh. Yeah, this ship is amazing, and what a way to introduce yourself into the Star Citizen universe. The Crusader Industries are definitely coming out with a strong punch, and I reckon it'll take a long time before we see anything potentially challenge that frontline thing. I'm really hoping we get to... I was a bit disappointed because there was a trailer that came out not too long after this thing came on, where we could where basically a Hercules was available. It looked like it was available in game, and it was not to be the case. At least at the moment. It could change. Maybe we'll get some kind of preview or something later on, but I do not see any. I do not see any opportunities to see the Hercules in game. It's just this room. It looks like. So, oh well, a bit of a shame. But I will have to wait and still... We're going to have to wait and see that it's just a hologram. But still, very exciting, very awesome, happy with Crusader, and I look forward to seeing what the next day brings. It's going to kind of be hard to bring up the wow factor after seeing the MSR, but you know what? We'll see what tomorrow brings. So I hope to catch you in tomorrow's episode. This one again was a little bit on the short side, but that's probably a good thing. So thank you once again for watching, and if you like this kind of content, let me know in the comment section down below, clicking on the like button, and of course subscribing to the channel. And I will see you in tomorrow's episode. Finger quote tomorrow, whenever I get around to uploading it to returning, but still, shut up. We'll see you then. This is Mr. Jaeger, signing out.